Morning students, this is your 9th standard science 2 unit 22 world of microbes part 1. Today we are going to study the new lesson unit 22 world of microbes, that is about microorganisms. Topics to learn. In this session we are going to study about introduction, microbes and their types. In this we are going to learn bacteria, viruses, fungi, prions. Next is applications of microbes, that is nothing but advantages of microbes, how the microorganisms are used and where. Microbes in agriculture, microbes in industries, microbes in medicine. Topics we are going to learn today. Let's start with introduction. Introduction. Microbiology. Here microbiology, micro means small animals which we cannot see with our naked eyes. We can only see with the help of microscope. Biology is nothing but study. So microorganisms, the study of microorganisms is said to be microbiology. It deals with microscopic size living organisms. Microbiology deals with microscopic size living organisms, which includes bacteria, fungi, algae, protozoa and viruses. Microbes are found in habitats like terrestrial, aquatic or atmospheric. Terrestrial means land, aquatic water, and microorganisms are also present in air. Microbes can survive in extreme environmental conditions. Microorganisms can be present in too cold environments, too hot environments. In every environmental condition, microbes can survive. Microbes are also used in industrial preparation. Microbes are also used in industrial preparation such as curd preparation, vaccines, alcohol, cheese, bread, etc. So this is the introduction of world of microbes. Next is microbes and their types. Here microbes are nothing but microorganisms which are seen only under microscope. They may be unicellular like bacteria and multicellular like virus. Unicellular means made up of single cell, multicellular means many cells, and non-cellular means like fungi. So these are the categories of microbes which we are going to study in this session. First is bacteria. Bacteria are microscopic single-celled prokaryotic organisms without nucleus and other cell organelles. They are microscopic means they can be seen only under microscope. They are single-celled, unicellular. Prokaryotic organism means they do not have nucleus and other cell organelles. They do not have any cell organelles and they do not have nucleus. The size of the bacteria varies from less than 1 to 10 micrometer in length and 0.2 to 1 micrometer in width. Bacteria may be motile and non-motile, means can move and cannot move. Motility is done with the help of flagella. As you can see the diagram over here, a long thread-like structure is being floating. That is said to be flagella. Due to this flagella, the bacteria can move from one place to the another. If the flagella is absent, the bacteria cannot move. So the bacteria having flagella is said to be motile bacteria, and the bacteria which does not have flagella is said to be non-motile bacteria. Are you clear, students? Please follow this lesson with the help of a textbook beside you. Open the textbook, have a pencil in your hand and underline the important points in the textbook where I am showing in this video. Next is shapes of bacteria. There are 3 shapes of bacteria, and bacteria are classified depending on their shapes also. Spherical or cocci. Spherical bacteria is said to be cocci. Rod-like bacteria are also called as bacilli. Spiral bacteria are said to be spirali. These are the three main shapes of bacteria: spherical, rod, spiral. Cocci, bacilli, spirali. Are you clear, students? Yes. Next is structure of a bacterial cell. Structure of a bacterial cell. Here the bacterial cell is having a cell membrane covered with a cell wall. In some bacteria, the cell wall is also covered with extra protective layer called capsule. Inside this bacteria, there is a fluid called cytoplasm, which is protected by the plasma membrane, the yellow color layer. This cytoplasm consists of nucleoid or nucleic acid DNA and ribosomes, beads-like structure. And extra DNA genetic material, plasmid, is also present inside the bacteria. The small hairy-like structures are called pillars, which help the bacteria to attach with the host. And this flagellum, as we studied in previous slide, this flagella, the long tail-like structure, helps the bacteria to move from one place to the other. Are you clear with this, students? Yes, with the help of the diagram, you can write the structure of a bacterial cell. Next category is viruses, like coronavirus, viruses. The term virus in Latin means venom or poisonous fluid. Virus, other name is venom or poisonous fluid. Viruses are non-cellular. They are non-cellular, means they are multi-cells, not single cellular. They are non-cellular, they don't have any cell formation. Self-replicating parasite. Self-replicating, they replicate themselves. Parasite, they depend on others for food. They are made up of a protein, a central nucleic acid, either RNA or DNA is present. A simple virus particle is often called a virion. Underline, a simple virus particle is often called a virion. They are the smallest organism, wide range from 18 to 400 nanometers. Nanometers, very small than bacteria. Virus can live in plants, animals, human beings, and even in bacteria. They can live anywhere. Are you clear with this, students? Characters of viruses. Viruses exhibit both living and non-living characters. First, let us see the living characters of viruses when they are alive. They have the nucleic acid DNA or RNA, that is the genetic material that can replicate. So multiplication will take when they are in a living stage only. They can multiply in the living cells of the host. They cannot multiply outside. They multiply within the host. They can attack specific host. They can attack specific host. The host who they want, they will attack that specific host only. Non-living characters of viruses. If the host is not available, how does the virus survive? Viruses remain as inert material outside their host. Inert material means not in a living form. They will be inactive stage outside the host. They are devoid of cell membrane and cell wall. Viruses are devoid of cell organelles like ribosomes, mitochondria, etc. They may be in the form of cell membrane, cell wall, and also in the form of cellular organelles. They can be crystallized. They can be in the form of crystallized manner. This is the characteristics of viruses, which I think you all are clear, students. Next is types of viruses. Viruses are characterized as given below. Plant virus. Virus that infect plants. Example, tobacco mosaic virus, TMV. Cauliflower mosaic virus, CMV. Potato virus. So these are the virus which affects the crops of tobacco, cauliflower and potato. Animal virus. Virus that infect animals. Animals in the sense human beings also. Example, adenovirus, retrovirus, HIV. Influenza is nothing but cold, cough, poliovirus. So the virus which infects animals is said to be animal virus and its examples. Bacteriophage. By the name only you can understand that virus that infect bacterial cells only is said to be bacteriophages. Example, T4 bacteriophage. You can see the diagram. Head, tail fiber, DNA fiber is inside. This tail will help the bacteriophage to attack the bacterial cell, to attach to the bacterial cell. These are the types of viruses. Are you clear, students? Yes. Next is, do you know? Antony van Leeuwenhoek, the first microbiologist, designed his own microscope. In 1674, he took plaque. Plaque means the yellow shade of our teeth from his own teeth and observed it under the microscope. He was astonished, means surprised, to see many tiny organisms moving around. And he said that which was otherwise invisible to naked eyes. We will feel that it is just an yellow color on our teeth, but that yellow color is the bacteria or the microorganisms on our teeth, which we cannot see with our naked eyes. We can see only with the help of microscope. And it was discovered by Antony van Leeuwenhoek. The protein-free pathogenic RNA of virus. Underline, the protein-free pathogenic RNA of virus is virions. They are found in plant cells and cause disease in plants. So virions are found in plant cells and cause disease in plants. Next category is fungi. They lack chlorophyll. They are not in a green color. That is why they are not like algae. Algae will be in green color, but fungi will not be in green color. If you see mushrooms, they are white or brown in color. That is why they are said to be, they lack chlorophyll. Hence depends on living or dead host for their nutritional needs. Fungi, what they will do? They will survive on the living as well as on the dead for their nutritions. Fungi living on living host are called parasites. Means fungi living on the living host, very healthy host, is said to be parasite because it is depending on the host for food. If the fungi is living on dead organic matter, they are called saprophytes. Are you clear, students? If the fungi is living on the living host, it is said to be parasite. If it is living on the dead organic matter, it is said to be saprophyte. Underline, the body of the fungus is called thallus. The body of the fungus is called thallus. Single-celled yeast ranges from 1 to 5 micrometers in width. They are spherical in shape. Flagella are absent. You can see the yeast cell. There is no flagella to move. So hence they are non-motile. In the case of multicellular forms, thallus is called mycelium. Many cells now. Single cell means thallus. Many cells means mycelium. Mycelium is a complex of several thin filaments called hyphae. And the example is penicillium. Are you clear, students? Yes. Next is prions. The term prion was coined by Stanley B. Prusiner in 1982. Prions are viral particles, underline, which contain only proteins. They do not contain nucleic acid. They are infectious and smaller than viruses. Prions are found in neurons. Underline this. They are found in neurons and are rod shaped. They are found in nerve cells, neuron tissues. Prions induce changes in normal proteins. They produce changes in the neurons' protein layers. This results in degeneration of nervous tissue. This results in the damage of nervous tissue in our body. Next is applications of microbes. That is nothing but advantages of microbes. Microbes in agriculture. First one. Microbes as biofertilizers. Microorganisms which enrich the soil with nutrients are called as biofertilizers. So few microorganisms are used in soil to develop or improve the nutrient value in the soil. So they are called biofertilizers. Examples like bacteria, cyanobacteria and fungi are the main sources of biofertilizers. Nitrogen is one of the main source of plant nutrients. So what happens? Atmosphere nitrogen has to be converted to available form of nitrogen. Atmospheric nitrogen should be converted into easy absorption nitrogen, so that plants cannot absorb directly nitrogen. So they need to be break down into small pieces so that the plants can absorb it easily. So this is done by the microbes either in free living condition, means either in the air they will do, or in the soil with the help of roots and plants. With the mutual understanding of microorganisms and roots, this nitrogen can be converted into simple nitrogen for the plants to absorb. Example, Azotobacter, nostoc are free living symbiotic microbes like Rhizobium and Frankie. Rhizobium is nothing but, if you see the pea plant, if you pluck it and see, the roots will be having beads like structure. So this is the development of microorganism near the root, which is helping to convert the nitrogen present in the soil into simpler form for the plant to observe. Are you clear, students? Next is microbes as biocontrol agents. Microorganisms used for controlling harmful or pathogenic organisms and pests of plants are called as biocontrol agents. Means microorganisms are used on the crop plants to prevent the insects and larvae to grow on the plants and spoil them. So using natural products to kill the pest is said to be biopesticides. In this, Bacillus thuringiensis (BT) is a species of bacteria that produce a protein called as cryprotein. So in this, the best used microorganism is Bacillus thuringiensis. This is the species of bacteria which produces protein called cryprotein. This protein is toxic to the insect larvae and kills them. Spores of Bacillus thuringiensis are available in sachets. Sachets means small tablets like which are dissolved in water and sprayed on the plants infected with insect larvae. Small tablets like are present in the market. If you bring and mix it in water and spray it on the plant, you can kill the pests. So this is biocontrol biopesticide, Bacillus thuringiensis. Are you clear, students? Next is microbes in industries. How do you use microorganisms in industries? What do you produce? Production of fermented beverages. Beverages like wine are produced by fermentation of grapefruits by Saccharomyces cerevisiae. So wine is produced from the grapes, because when the grapes are kept for 2-3 days, smashing and keeping for 2-3 days separately in a closed room, this bacteria will grow and produce wine. Coring of coffee beans, tea leaves and tobacco leaves. Beans of coffee and cocoa, leaves of tea and tobacco are fermented by the bacteria Bacillus megaterium. So coffee beans, tea leaves and tobacco leaves are kept in a closed room where this bacteria Bacillus megaterium is grown. What it will do? It will give the smell, beautiful smell. It will arise, it will increase the smell of the beans, coffee beans, tea leaves and tobacco leaves. Production of curd. Lactobacillus species converts milk to curd. Production of organic acid, enzymes and vitamins. Examples of organic acid are oxalic acid, acetic acid and citric acid are produced by the fungus Aspergillus niger. Enzymes lipase, invertase, protease and glucose oxidase are derived from microbes. Yeasts are the rich source of vitamin B complex. They are the rich source of vitamin B complex. These are the uses of microbes in industries. Next is microbes in medicine. Here antibiotics and vaccines are the two types where the microbes are used in medicines. Antibiotics is the medicine which is given for the required illness. If you have fever, if you have cold, that particular antibiotic is given. Vaccine is given for one time in life. One time in life, because when the vaccine is given, it will produce antibodies which will be in our body. Whenever in our lifetime, if that illness is coming to attack us, that antibodies will react. So vaccines are given one time in life. Here antibiotics are produced by bacteria and fungi only. In bacteria there are 3 organisms. Streptomyces gracius produces streptomycin. Streptomyces erythris produces erythromycin. Bacillus subtilis produces bacteriacin. So whatever the organism name is, the antibiotic name is also given to that. Fungi, Penicillium notatum produces penicillin. Cephalosporium acremonium produces cephalosporin. Are you clear, students? These antibiotics are given when you have a particular illness. Today, this month, if we have fever, antibiotic is given for 3 days. Next month again we will get fever. Again we will take antibiotic. This is for limited time only, but vaccine is for lifelong. One time if you take vaccine, it will protect you for lifelong. So here organisms names are not given, but vaccines are produced like MMR, which is given for measles, mumps and rubella. That is nothing but pimples like chicken pox which are forming on the skin. BCG, Bacillus calmette-guerin tuberculosis, that is TB. This vaccine is being given. IPV vaccine, that is for polio. Then hepatitis B vaccine, hepatitis B to cure hepatitis. Tetanus TT vaccine, that is for tetanus. Diphtheria toxoid, that is diphtheria. I think last year in our school 2019 the whole school got diphtheria vaccine. So that was good for us, and it is also good for cold and cough. It will not come. So these are the antibiotic and vaccines which are produced with the help of microorganisms. Are you clear, students, with this part 1 session? After the lesson of part 1, studying about microbes and its types and applications of microbes in agriculture, industries and medicines, a small exercise is given here. Write down these questions in your Science 2 classwork and try to answer them with the help of a textbook by reading the textbook and seeing the study-based material video. By doing all these 3, then you can answer these questions very easily. Draw and write about the structure of a bacterial cell. Write a note on shapes of bacteria. Write a note on types of viruses with examples and diagrams. Define thallus, hyphae and mycelium. Write a note on applications of microbes. Are you clear, students? Write down these questions in your Science 2 classwork and try to answer them. In the next session, we will meet with the new topic, the next part 2 of this lesson, microbes and diseases.